Yes, people, what is going on? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. So, have been feeling a little bit under the weather the last couple of days, which isn't ideal. I'm currently on my third day of rest from the gym. Don't really know what the issue is. I kind of like struggling to kind of get my breath the last couple of days. My sinuses was like just all choked up. So, just feeling a little bit run down. But we move, trying to still keep the consistency up with the regular vlogs. So I'm going to do a little bit of recording today and then take you through my blood work. But first things first, we've got meal number 2 here, which is 100 grams cream rice with some berries, dark chocolate and whey, which is delicious. Keen is eating his pre-workout meal there, I think, which is pretty similar. Exactly. And Chloe is just trying to work there while I'm disturbing her here with the camera out. But yeah, blood work was pretty good, which you'll see shortly. I'm going to go onto the desktop and do my little loom thingy like I did for my off-season wrap-up video, and then other main thing I need to do today is go to Wing Yip, the Asian store, to get like three bags of rice, because we're out of jasmine rice, and that's literally all I eat. So probably take the camera along there just for some shits and giggles later on, walking around the Asian store. It's like something out of Squid Games, that's the word, isn't it? Yeah, that's the one. I know that sounds like extremely racist, and it probably is, but look, you know, we're Irish. We're Irish. Nothing like a subtle little bit of racism here and there. But yeah, guys, so that's going to be the video today. It's going to be super interesting. So I will catch you for the blood work. Alright guys, what's happening? Welcome back. So we have my blood work up on screen here. This is after 6 weeks on cruise. Taking 225 milligrams of testosterone and 50 milligrams of Primo. So I was actually supposed to be taking 300 milligrams of testosterone on this cruise, but turns out I was actually taking 225, as I just got my calculations or my dosages mixed up, and I was doing one shot less than I was supposed to be. But look, you know, no harm, no foul. Probably better to have a little bit more of a break, and a little bit more extreme break from the level of drugs I was taking anyway. So we've got the blood count here. Everything is in range, bar the white blood cells, which are just slightly out of range here. This would kind of make sense, as I was saying earlier in the video. I have actually gotten sick now, and I'm sick about a week and a half after these bloods were actually taken. So it was probably coming on me a little bit when I got these bloods, and then kind of being stubborn and training through that led me to get a little bit more sick. But everything else here is in line and in range, which is good. In the biochemistry markers here, you can see my CK is elevated, pretty highly elevated. This is not concerning, and this is your creatine kinase, and this generally tends to be out of range when you have done heavy exercise or heavy weight training around the time you've gotten your bloods done. So I did actually train the day before I got these bloods done, so this is why this is elevated, and this has actually been much higher for me in the past. So no real issue here whatsoever. HbA1c in a very good range here, and everything else pretty much in range, so no main issues there. When we look now to our other markers, so kidney function, everything in line here, which is good. My EGFR could be a little bit higher. I think below 60 is kind of considered out of range. But anytime I have gotten my EGFR done, it's only ever really been around 60 or 70. So I think that's just kind of where I sit naturally anyway. So because it's kind of in line with previous blood tests, I'm not too concerned about it. Creatinine, obviously elevated. This again happens with exercise, protein-rich diet. It has actually been 123 even when I was natty. So again, not too concerned about that. Liver function, only thing we can see out of range here is ALT. This is kind of always slightly out of range when I get my bloods done. And again, this can be very, very sensitive to exercise and also a high protein diet. I trained the day before I got these blood tests done, and as well, my protein is around 300 grams per day, so that will kind of explain why that is out of range. But if you are, taking performance enhancing drugs, these are markers that you're probably going to see more or less out of range all the time anyway. The ALT will be slightly out of range, the creatinine will be slightly out of range, and next one up here, your HDL would probably be, once you start getting into higher dosages, below 1. So this is 0.64, this is the only kind of, bad thing on these blood tests, in my opinion. But I think, with cholesterol, the real primary thing you have to worry about is your LDL. If your LDL is out of range, that is obviously not good. Your HDL, is your good cholesterol, and your LDL is your bad cholesterol. The HDL kind of helps to pump that kind of bad cholesterol out of the arteries, so obviously you don't get clogs and you don't have a heart attack or whatever the case may be. But there has been kind of studies to show that the effect of HDL, and if your HDL is out of range, that it's not really that much of an issue. I was watching a podcast on Fuad Abiyad's channel with his doctor from Merrick Health, Adam Hotchkiss, and he kind of went over some kind of recent studies with regards to HDL. So LDL is always going to be the primary one you want to look out for. Obviously having a HDL below 1, it still isn't good, it's still not ideal. But as bodybuilders, this is something that we're pretty much always going to see out of range. So for me to kind of make sure I'm mitigating that being out of range, and trying to make it as good as possible, making sure I'm supplementing with my Love Heart, my omega-3s, the lipid max that I have as well, taking those daily all the time, and make sure that this is as kind of good as it can be, considering everything that I am doing. But LDL I think is pretty good for me. And I've never seen that out of range, so that's the good thing. Testosterone here is 32.23, so as you can see, it's just slightly above the natural range. So I was actually feeling very, very natty after I got these blood tests done, and over the last kind of week or two before the drugs started to kind of kick back in. At first glance, when I got these blood tests back, I was looking at this testosterone and I was thinking like, oof, I'm taking 300 milligrams of testosterone a week. How is this so low? I would have expected it to be maybe around 45, 50, as that's normally what I've seen in the past at that dosage. But it made a little bit more sense for me when I realised that I was actually taking a much lower dosage. Now, even at 225 mg a test, would it be that low? It kind of depends. Obviously, genetic response to testosterone does make a big difference for people, but I still would have expected it to be a little bit higher for me with what I've seen at the past. So I was kind of like, is my gear a little bit dodgy? But I don't think it is, because the last 8 weeks of my push-up I was taking the same lab for everything, and honestly I never made as much progress as I did. So I think that reading is pretty accurate. Free testosterone obviously out of range as well, considering the testosterone being out of range. But my prolactin, my estrogen, and my progesterone are all in like a really, really good range. Okay, particularly the prolactin being quite low is actually promising for me to see, as I was taking 100 milligrams of trenbolone for 25 weeks straight on that last cycle. So a very low dose, yes, but that can still skew prolactin. So to kind of keep that down, I was supplementing with vitamin B6, which is P5P, and that can help to kind of control prolactin levels. Estrogen, kind of top end ish of the range, which is good, as obviously estrogen is important for your brain health, and even building muscle and stuff as well. So we don't really want to see that low. We kind of want to have it as high as we possibly can, without exhibiting any side effects. Luteinizing hormone, FSH and SHBG, obviously out of range here, as I am taking exogenous hormone. Now, thyroid function in a pretty good spot, so I'm taking a replacement dosage of T4. So I would have taken that a couple of hours before I got these tests done. So that sees my T4 sitting kind of top end ish of the range. Free T3 is actually in like a very good spot as well, considering it's quite high. And funnily enough, my TSH, which is my thyroid stimulating hormone, is actually still in range despite me supplementing with exogenous thyroid. So I think this kind of shows me that I do have a quite a strong thyroid, and if my kind of natural production is still kind of in range, despite having the T4 replacement dosage in there. So that's kind of quite nice to see. Obviously that's going to change as I kind of enter further into the prep, but thyroid hormone will be bumped up to kind of facilitate that. Vitamin B12 here, which is out of range. This again is not concerning. It's something very common I see in kind of enhanced guys or bodybuilders. I've seen it in my clients. Even one of my clients recently who was natural got his blood test done, and his B12 was out of range. So again, I think it's one of these kind of markers that just tends to get skewed with high levels of exercise and muscle breakdown, etc. So that is pretty much the bloods, guys. Again, I was super happy with these, to be honest. These are really good bloods in my opinion. Obviously the HDL is the only kind of one that is kind of you know, a little bit lower than I would like it to be, but it's still not bad whatsoever. You know, for a bodybuilder, and considering, you know, my last cycle, I think it is still pretty good. So yeah, you know, this gives me confidence that everything I'm doing to try and stay as healthy as possible is actually working. So I will get another set of bloods done either halfway through my prep or towards the end of the prep, just so I can see what the kind of peak stress of that kind of load of drugs is doing, so then I can kind of take action accordingly after prep is over to, you know, address some of those things a little bit more. But that is pretty much it, guys, so I will wrap that up here and we'll get back into the rest of the video.
Wing Yip crew, what are we saying? How many bags of rice are we going to get between us? 17 bags of rice. I heard it here first. It's an absolutely beautiful day in Manny today. Summer is well and truly coming. The unbearable heat is going to be with us very soon. Jim is shorts, always. Not recording nothing. Wing Yip, the Wing Yip experience. I have to keep my Asian accent up here, you know. It is, but it's like a little bit stickier. Yeah, so do I.
And I wasn't a fan at all. Really.
This is the that's the rice Ryan got because it's the most expensive one.
This one?
Yeah, it's all the same. Like this is where's the one that I got? Yeah. This is the one that I get. This was on offer for like £10 one day, so I just got it. So we're gonna get 3 bags of this, so that we don't have to come back again for the remainder of the prep. Anytime I come, I get like 2 bags, but in off season they last maybe 2 months, 3 months. But this probably lasts through prep and beyond. Sriracha hot chili sauce. If it was like easy to pour, like you could get it.
It's
just like
sriracha, that's actually too bad.
I always want to try like
That's what she said.
something different, but I always go with like the same things that I know. This is what we're here for now. Got the sriracha.
The hoisted one's here.
It's the flying goose one you want. This is it, isn't it? No, that's eagle. They're all pretty much a muchness, aren't they?
The lemongrass one is unbelievable.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll try one of those, so will I?
It's my favourite one.
Lemongrass. Okay. Get normal, we get lemongrass. It's mad though, some of the shit they have. Look. Frozen back fat cut. What's that? Looks like the back of a pig or something like that. The gooks are into some weird shit. I don't think it would be legal. Chicken paws, yeah.
That's cool that I got that here.
Yeah. Get your paws off me. In the prep it'll be potatoes and prawns all the time. They look serious, don't they? Will we get a bag? Yeah? It's going straight mob off, good.
Would you look at that?
Okay, I think we'll wrap this up. So I've got 3 of those.
About 61 pounds.
Can I pay by card, please? At the bin there. How are we saying, Jim? Kobe! It's fucking roasting, isn't it?
Stash. Riz.
Riz.
Riz, Lord, that's that.
Asian Riz.
A boot full of Riz.
Here, Chloe, will you grab those prawns and just close the boot? Classic. Yes, people, so we are back home after an extremely arduous trip to Wing Yip that actually fucking sapped the energy right out of me. If I'm being honest, I'm definitely still not recovered from whatever the fuck it is I have. I'm meant to go back to the gym tomorrow, and I'm hoping I just get an amazing night's sleep tonight and feel a million times better tomorrow. But if that's not the case, then look, we just kind of have to run with it, I suppose. These things happen. Obviously not ideal, being sick, you know, like fucking a week and a half into prep, but you know, it is what it is. Nothing I kind of haven't experienced before. I think setbacks are, you know, pretty normal, and I kind of rather I got a little bit sicker at the start of prep when there's not really too much happening, than get sick at the end of prep. So no adjustments have really been made for so far. Kind of nutrition or drug wise, well, I think Clen was bumped up to like 40 micrograms from 20. That was the only real thing. But you know, it's been kind of smooth sailing so far. Body weight's kind of been holding, and the look is kind of getting slightly better. But I must admit, I'm still stuffed eating the food that I am eating. I think because I've gotten sick, my appetite has been, you know, kind of at rock bottom the last kind of 3 or 4 days. So I'm hoping there's going to be a calorie adjustment by checking in 2 days time, and if there is, obviously I will update you in the next video. I do think that would probably help me a good bit with like just kind of dropping off a little bit more fatigue, because I think if I'm eating less, there's going to be just less lethargy, probably better sleep, etc, etc. And I think as I start to drop some body fat and body weight, I'll probably, you know, feel a lot better, and things will start to pick up a little bit. But yeah, that is today's video wrapped up, guys. I will be recording again next week. Haven't decided when yet, but like I said, you know, in a previous video, it's likely just going to be some training footage this time around, so just so I can kind of, you know, catch a break from the kind of vlog style footage. Even though, you know, maybe people enjoy this style, I'm not sure, but I'll try and mix it up here and there along the prep as we kind of move along. And yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one.